And we're running out of trucks because both Freightliners are still out of commission. They're in the shop, and so they told me to hook up this mighty beast F350 to a small trailer. That's, you know, our trailers we rent to customers, and I never told this before. And this is such a cool trailer. So you pull that handle out and this thing goes up and down, and then you can unload. So I'm moving a small loader, Ditch Witch SK755 with a smooth bucket. And the binders you get with this trailer, I kind of like look at this. But you know, they work. So I put a strap on the bucket, and we're here. So now I have to go find the customer and find out where they want this thing. This is actually funny. I called the customer, right? Couldn't get the right number. Finally, I'm talking to the lady. It's landscapers who rented this machine. And she gives me an address. Hey, what's up? Why did you guys give us this address? Like, I frightened the poor lady inside there. Man, just did a very difficult delivery where I had to go. The guy says, just turn on the 10th Avenue and drive inside the parkade. I'm like, parkade? So it's like a TV center, you know, where the TV tower is? And this is kind of like where you park, and there's some shops in there. And I'm in the truck and a trailer, like, you know, pretty long. Because when I came back with that Ford F350, and when I was pulling that funny trailer at the tilt deck after I delivered the loader, and there was a bunch of surprised people during that delivery. Like nobody knew who is it for. Like, I thought it was for the owner of the house. A lady comes out, she says, I don't know anything about this, but this company, I showed her my paperwork. She says, yeah, I know this company, they do landscaping around here. And I said, and these are like townhouses, you know, like semi-detached houses. I said, is this a condo? She says, yeah. I said, okay. So I said, I'm pretty sure. So if you know their name, so a condo corporation hired them, and they rented this loader. But she didn't want me to leave it in the driveway, but her house number was on my paperwork. And so I was confused, she was confused, and finally the landscaper showed up and they took the machine, and that's it. And so I came back, and my boss says, drop the trailer, park the truck, jump into a Ram, it should be preloaded. And I looked, there's a scissor lift on the trailer, and there's a garbage bin on wheels. Like a trash, what do they call them? Trash bin on wheels. Yeah, very handy thing that you can tip over. And this one was delivering to this TV tower, to the parkade. Man, it was like 2 or 3 super sharp turns. I was so careful, but you know, I had to be really close to the wall with my left fender because it's really like 180 degrees, you know. So, but I made it through that parkade entrance and exit. Man, it was crazy. And these guys, of course, yeah, you can, the exit is over here. And the exit is like this. You know, you're inside the building. Super sharp corners, and I see there's scratches everywhere, you know. So I know it's kind of like when you see tire marks, you know, like when I was a trucker, so driving a semi-truck, I always paid attention to that. So I looked here, I see the wall where you turn, there's a wall on the right. The wall is all scratched. So I know that people were coming probably, they kept the nose of their vehicle too close this way, and so the trailer or whatever was there. So there's like scratches everywhere. And so I was so careful. I went in a super wide arc, you know, jumped out a couple of times to make sure that my left fender was not too close to the wall. But I came really close, like maybe a foot. My left fender, you know, like when you look like this, it's already looks like I'm hitting the wall. So I jumped out. Oh man, it's still like 2 feet, you know. And so I came closer and was watching my mirror, and it's a right side turn. So it's your blind side, you know. You cannot see anything. Like it was a bit scary. But anyway, so now I'm driving west, pick up a skid steer, right? you guys know this is my favorite machine, and actually I delivered this one. It's just a skid steer with a smooth bucket, just one bucket. That's it, no extra buckets, so this should be easy to load. And then today I booked the windshield replacement. That cheap guy, like I found at $340, right? That guy is kind of, something is fishy around that. They never answer their phones, and then when there's a voicemail comes up, the guy does not say the name of the company, which is supposed to be VIP Glass, but he just says you called 403, and he just tells you the number. Please leave a message. Like something, I don't know. Maybe it was some wrong company, but I found them on Google. Kind of like what this gentleman who gave me this lead, he suggested that these are good guys. They charge, only this much, But something fishy, I'm supposed to leave them the car, and then probably what would have happened is that I leave them the car, and then I come back and there's no car. No, you didn't leave us the car, because they asked me for my VIN. Okay, I gave them the VIN, so they gave me the quote, so it looked legitimate at first. And so screw this. So I booked an appointment with like two other places. I called myself, and I found they were around $450, and one of them said, hey, we can match the price if you find something cheaper. But I didn't even bother with this because this VIP Glass was nowhere to be found, and I only had like a verbal quote. I didn't have anything in writing. But these two guys, one is called Windshield Surgeons, and the other one is something Auto Glass. And so they both sent me a legitimate quote, so I found them on Google and filled out the quote request on their website. And these guys actually called me back, the Windshield Surgeons. And when would you like to book the appointment? I said, well, I'm just trying to find the money, right? That was like a few days ago. And then that's when I started selling all the stuff. And yesterday I sold the lens.
At the light, turn left onto 12 Mile Coulee
Yeah,
Road
that's an
Northwest.
interesting story. The lens is $1,400, brand new. It's in excellent condition, no scratches, no damage, no marks, nothing. And I have the box, I have the receipt, I have all the accessories that came with it. I have both caps, I have the hood, everything, and the manual. And I put in $750, set the price at $750, no takers. Okay, $700. The guy says, I can give you $650. So $650? What, $700 is not enough of a discount from $1,400? The guy disappeared. Then another lady contacts me. I can do $600. I said, I have already offer of $650. Can you at least do $650? Because that guy disappeared. This lady disappears. No answer after this, right? So I changed the price on Facebook, $700, but I forgot to update Kijiji, where it still was, like the online free ads. Over there it was still $750. And then some guy yesterday calls me. Hey, I'm coming from this little town, so he's somewhere from the country. And is the lens still available? I said, yeah. He never asked me about the price. He says, do you need cash, or we can do e-transfer? That's how we send money here in Canada. All you need is the person's name and the email address. And you can send them the money. It's like $1, like very convenient. And the guy says, I said, yeah, e-transfer is fine. So he comes over in a couple of hours. I tell him where to find me. I said, look for the blue Jeep Compass in this particular parking spot. And he texts me, he says, I'm here. Okay, I come out, show him the lens. He likes it. Boom, sends me the money, $750 in my account. Which is perfect because that covers the windshield. And so $450 with the install. Then there's a $200 reinstatement fee I have to pay to the city of Calgary to reinstate my Uber license. And then there's a new inspection. I have to do a new inspection. And that's what I was busy today. So I booked the windshield. So tomorrow gonna drop off the car at this Windshield Surgeons and pick it up after work. So I have to do Uber. And then I called one company that this other guy suggested for inspection, because he says they charge like $45. They're very good. And the guy says, well, I'm all booked this
In
week.
500 meters, keep left to stay on 12 Mile Cooley Road.
I can
west.
do next Tuesday or Wednesday. I said, no, sir, that's I need to do it, this week, because I'm afraid if I wait too long, then City of Calgary can just, cancel my my license. So right now it's suspended, but the inspection expired on May
Keep left to
12th.
stay on 12 Mile Cooley
So
Road
today it's already
northwest.
15, right? So it's like 2 weeks that I've been suspended. So I don't know
Continue
how
for
long
2
they can wait.
kilometers.
And so I called another company. Which company did I call? Oh yeah, I called the company where I did it first time when I just signed up with Uber. It's called Quick Stop Auto. And this guy says, well, it's a holiday. It's a religious holiday, so we're gonna be we open Wednesday, but then we're gonna be closed. So can you come Wednesday? No, wait, Wednesday, I think he said Tuesday, tomorrow. Yeah, Wednesday, he said Wednesday we're closed. And I said, no, I'm getting the windshield tomorrow, so I cannot come tomorrow because I'll be picking the car after work. It's like 5 o'clock, and then they close at 5, this inspection place. And so no way I'm going back to Canadian Tire, right? And so I just Googled Elvis Uber inspection Calgary. Boom, a bunch of results show up, and one of them says, do Uber taxi inspection here, directions. And I click on that link just to see how far they are, because Calgary is a big city. I don't want to drive like 30 kilometers because then it's expensive for me to get the Uber. And these guys are near the airport, not too far from me. Cool. So I call them, book the appointment for Wednesday. So same idea. I'm gonna bring I said, you guys have a night, like a drop box for the keys? And they said, yeah. I said, okay, I'm getting a new windshield tomorrow, Tuesday, and then Wednesday I'm gonna drop off the car at your location on the way to work, and then I'm gonna pick it up after work and pay you, and hopefully everything will be fine. Because I have new tires, right? I have alignment. I'll have a new windshield.
In 300 meters, your destination will be on the left.
So everything should be honky dory, And then hopefully Thursday, Friday, I'll find a way to get to the City of Calgary, licensing office. And
Your destination is on the left.
the skid steer is in exactly the same spot where I dropped it. And then hopefully we'll get our license back, because I need to do it. Otherwise I'm not gonna have enough money for all the bills, Oh, and the guy is returning my Durango today. Like, when are you coming? Like, wait, I'm working. Like, you guys requested airport delivery. Oh, we paid you. He says, can we leave it in a parking spot somewhere there in the airport? I said, well, no, because there's no free parking, and you cannot leave it at the terminal, where I drop off the car for you, because there's no parking there either, and it'll be towed. Okay. And I said, can you leave it? And I told him the spot where it's free parking, but it's like 5 minutes walk from the terminal. So the guy was not too happy. Oh, we already paid you cash. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm at work. I cannot just, unless they let me off today early, but it's already 2 o'clock. And he says, oh yeah, we'll be at the airport at 3. Like, there's no freaking way I can, sometimes they do let us early, but usually it's 3 and after, right? But basically, today I'm gonna drive my Jeep to that location that I told the guy where to park the car and hide the key, and hopefully nobody will steal it. And then I'm gonna grab the Durango, drive it home. Oh, and what I can do is I can jump on a bike. Yeah, I can jump on a bike instead of paying Uber, because the airport is only 9 kilometers from me. And actually today is Monday. Today is my stamina training day usually, so I restarted my thing. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I want to do stamina, either hiking, Nordic walking, or biking, and so that would be perfect. And so yeah, I'm gonna jump on a bike, and that bike fits perfectly inside the Jeep because it has very narrow handlebars, and drive home. I don't really need the rack, so, and I have a bunch of videos to take care of. I have to pay my condo fee. They reminded us that June 1st is the deadline for the, not the condo fee, but it's like $80 or something you have to pay every year because you live in a condo. There's a lot of fees. And then Thursday we have a fire freaking inspection, and they already fined me for breaking one fire alarm because it was not going off and on, like on false alarms. So they charged me a bunch of money. But the one inside of my apartment is not working either. So man, so Thursday is gonna be an interesting day, but I'll have to stay home for 2 hours till these guys are doing the inspections. I hope they don't charge me too much for that one, but it's not broken. It's just the wires are disconnected and there's no batteries inside. So this is our baby. No, he locked it. These passcodes can be a pain in the butt. Okay, just have to write down fuel is 25%. Hours are 10:17. So yeah, you see this is your movement, and this is your bucket. All right. There's a little hump.